Morning.
G'day world, Mac Reading coming to you live from the Sunshine Coast. We're here at the Script Morning Breakfast Q&A panel.
Yep.
We're here with Dean. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, thanks, Macca. It's been a great morning.
Yeah. And so it's been a pretty insightful few hours.
Yes, interesting. Yes, it's good to hear from the panel, who included Steve Baxter,
Yep.
Mick Black. Oh no.
It's all good. We're going to continue recording. Here we go.
Mick Black,
Yeah.
Elaine Jobson from Jets. Who were the other two? Lady from
Type Phi.
Typify, and
That's about it, isn't it?
there was one more.
Ian Mason from...
Ian Mason from Virgin Startup.
Yes, that's it.
How could we forget Ian Mason?
And so how did you enjoy the panel this morning?
No, it was really good. Obviously, Steve Baxter's always good value for money, but hearing the different responses from those 5 different participants was really interesting. Particularly Ian Mason, I think, hearing his journey with the Virgin Startup Group and how the number of different people that he's met and worked with over the years. So
it was a very diverse sort of panel.
Yes.
So it ranged from entrepreneurs themselves, people working in the sort of high-end corporate and big brands, and then also people working within an organisation entrepreneurially as well.
That's right, So a real good range of opinions that we found and heard from. And a whole range of different subjects were covered as well, including the age and the sex disparity between entrepreneurs. What else? Different technologies that were explored. General mindset versus skill set. So a really good range of different subjects.
Yeah, and obviously there was some conversation around culture in terms of the workplace and building a company with the right culture from the early days and then it changing.
That's right. And one of the things that I find with my clients is, and right back from my days in corporate, was you can build a company, but sometimes you need to change the management because the management team don't grow as fast as the company. So the company outgrows the management team. So, and that's particularly true with startups and small businesses where suddenly you might be a subject matter leader, but then you have to be everything. You have to be the marketer, you have to be the accountant, you have to be the procurement officer. So there's a whole range of different skills that most people don't have on board right from the get-go. Yeah.
So what would be one of the biggest takeaways from this morning event for you?
Oh, look, I was really pleased to hear that one of Steve Baxter's go-to gurus and books that he reads is Michael Gerber's E-Myth, and that's particularly one of mine. So to me, to be able to scale a business, you need to put systems in place and you need to have your processes down pat, and so that takes all the variation in what you do on a day-to-day basis and allows you to focus on growth.
Yeah. Perfect. And so let's go dive into what you do, and what was your objective coming to this event for the stuff that you're doing at the moment?
Yes, so it's a great networking event here on the Sunshine Coast, and with the panel that we've had, it's been really powerful and getting a lot of really interesting people in the same room. So networking is a key thing for me. What I do is that I work with entrepreneurs and make sure that they've got a good business behind their ideas and their passion. So what I try and do is avoid them investing all of their money up front in an untested product or an untested idea, and make sure that they've got a good business model behind them, or at least one that can evolve as they grow and their ideas evolve as well, and allows them to pivot if they need to.
Yeah, perfect. And so you're based on the sunny coast?
Yes.
So we were having a discussion off camera around about incubators and accelerators and stuff like that, and you're finding there's a lack of the incubator side of things.
Yes, absolutely. The Sunshine Coast is a wonderful environment in the accelerator space, whereby there's lots of support available for businesses that have got a little bit of traction, starting to look for some money. But for those businesses that are really, really just starting out, and I say in some of my work that if you're in a day job, don't give it up yet. If you've got an idea and you want to start your own business, do a bit of due diligence, do a bit of market research, make sure you've got a product market fit and a good idea of what your business model is going to be before you make those big decisions. And that's the sort of support that I'd like to see more of on the Sunshine Coast. Yeah, basically I'll do whatever I can in the space.
Yeah, great. So you've noticed some key things that you think would provide value to the coast?
Yes, absolutely. I really want to focus on giving entrepreneurs, the startup entrepreneurs, small packages of work that they can take away, not costly, but it gives. I mean, one of my taglines is tools, technologies, and tuition for taking their ideas forward. So small packages of applications with some video training and some cheat sheets and notes, so that they can start to build some of those skills that they don't come to the party with. Yeah. So if they need some accounting background, if they need to do financial plans, cash flow forecasting, business model generation, want to go for investment, they need to build up a story and need to build up some traction so that they can present the best case possible to their potential funders.
Yeah. So on the topic of questions, so there's an open panel in terms of everyone could post a question and people could scroll through and vote. Out of all those questions that you saw, what stood out to you the most and sort of made you really think in terms of asking yourself that question? I heard that, at the start, the opening question was innovation and what that meant to you and to the panel. Is there any
innovation? The answers to the innovation question were quite interesting because it's an overused term, and I think most of the panel agreed with that innovation can happen in so many different ways, but there's the perception out there that innovation has to be the next big shiny thing, that has to be the next Elon Musk idea. But innovation is basically changing and improving something, and it can happen in a very small way, and it can happen inside companies as well as it can happen in new startups. So that innovation question I think was answered really well by the 5 panelists.
And to follow on to that, is there any questions that you noticed that really made you stump?
Had me stumped?
Yes, like you really got you thinking.
I think trying to predict the next technological innovative area, the next vertical, was very interesting. And it seems like it's going to be ag tech. Yep. And obviously taking machine learning to the next level to support those sorts of other technologies that are going to improve agriculture. It's going to be great.
Great. And to finalise the conversation, what would you say, why did you choose the Sunshine Coast?
Why did I choose the Sunshine Coast? Well, I've travelled and lived around the world over the years, and life brought me here. Yeah. And I simply couldn't have asked for a better place to land. After many years of being a nomad, I feel like I've landed somewhere that I want to call my home, and what better place on the planet to be than on the Sunshine Coast. And it just so happens to be a really energetic place for startups and business. I love business, so it's a great place. I'm living the dream, as they say.
Yeah, living the dream.
Living the dream.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Dean. Yep. And make sure you guys keep following for more. Coming to you live at facebook.com/speech to the earth.
Thanks, mate.
No worries, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Check her out.